Alright guys, welcome back to another video, race number one. Let's get into it. What on earth is going on? Firstly, it's Monday the 30th of September 2024. I hope everyone's had a good weekend and, like always, we start the week with some absolute ludicrous statements from some very, very important people in the world of Formula One. None other this time than David Coulthard. Now, I'm lost for words really why David Coulthard has said what he's recently come out and said. It doesn't make any sense. To me, I can only assume that he's starting a new business and he needs some backing from Daddy Norris, because some of these comments are absolutely outlandish. Right, so let's just move on. Let's just break down what he said. Now, I know there is so much going on in the world of Formula One at the minute. Obviously, we've got reports of Sergio Perez going to retire. We had a shocking, absolute shocking display from Red Bull in terms of Daniel Ricciardo and the goodbye that he had from VCarb and Red Bull. This is incredible. How such a poor, crappy send off for Daniel Ricciardo. But now there's rumours all coming out that apparently he knew before, etc. It is just one big mess. It is just one big mess in the world of Formula One. And then we've got talk of Lewis Hamilton going to sponsor himself when he goes to Ferrari. Like, the guy has just made so much money in so many different avenues. The guy's an absolute wizard when it comes to wealth streams and stuff, passive incomes that the guy's managed to create. So fair play to him. But one thing I want to talk about today is what the title says, right? Lando Norris being as good as Senna, right? As good as Michael Schumacher, as good as Lewis Hamilton on his, what did it say? As good as Lewis Hamilton on his good days? Let me just pull up the article here. Let me just have a quick read. Lewis Hamilton, as good as Senna, as good as Michael Schumacher, and Lewis Hamilton at his best type performances. Why the Hamilton at his best type performances? I don't know. Throwing a little bit of shade on Lewis Hamilton, which isn't a surprise, right? Everyone always seems to. If they can throw shade on Lewis Hamilton, it seems like the world of F1 will do just that. Okay, some very fickle people in the world of F1. Right, so who we got in the comments is Leo in the comments. Leo was pretty live last week in the comments. He maybe not be online yet. Anyway, so let's break down what has been said. What is going on? What has David Coulthard been saying? Let me break it down for you guys. So let me just close this screen down here. Right, okay, so let me get onto the website. So we're on crash.net website. Let's get it up here. Planet F1. So this was reported on Planet F1. Even better. Right, so Planet F1 has said the following. They have mentioned, and I can't. Anyway, let me transition so you guys can read the slide as well. So here we have it. Lando Norris doesn't realise performance level amid Senna, Schumacher and Hamilton comparison. Okay, whatever, David Coulthard, whatever you say, mate. Anyway, let's get down. Let's read into the gossip. Let's see what he's saying. David Coulthard waxed lyrical about Lando Norris and his Singapore Grand Prix performance, claiming the humble McLaren driver does not realise the significance. One thing, when is Lando Norris ever humble? I do not think Lando Norris is humble. I don't think any F1 driver is humble. I don't think you could be, right? I think it'd be very difficult for anyone to be humble. A bit like we see with Anthony Joshua, what he used to say, stay hungry, stay humble. Mate, irrelevant. Absolute load of rubbish. No, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, let's read on the article, because it does get interesting. So McLaren are sensing an F1 2024 title double opportunity, having absurd. Reigning champions Red Bull ahead of the Constructors' Championship, while Norris is keeping the pressure on Red Bull Driver Championship leader Max Verstappen, having reduced his lead to just 52 points with 6 rounds to go. Yada, yada, yada. But here it comes. So, ex-Red Bull driver was impressed with Lando Norris, telling Channel 4 that minus a couple brushes with the barrier, right? So minus them, let's just scrap them out, right? Even though it could have been race-ending situations, right? I think twice he hit the barrier, twice lack of concentration, but we'll ignore that because we want some headlines, don't we, David Coulthard? So we'll ignore that bit, right? Nonetheless, what a performance, human and machine in perfect harmony. Yeah, granted, apart from this bit here, right? But we'll ignore that. Yeah, let's just keep on ignoring the fact that he crashed into or scraped the barrier or brushed with the barriers, right? What a performance, human and machine in perfect harmony. No, the car was just generally good. And I wouldn't say it was in harmony because of said here. Like, we're going to keep talking about it, but, said here. Coulthard feels Norris is delivering performance which F1 legends Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton would proudly serve up. But is that truly registering with the Brit after his third win of the 2024 season? Right, let me break this down. I don't remember a time, guys, comment if I'm wrong, right? I do not remember a time when Lewis Hamilton almost did not finish the race because he lacked concentration and he almost crashed it in the lead. And we're talking about Singapore, right? He was out in front, Lando Norris, he was 20 seconds. Was it 20 seconds he had in front, if not more? Right, so how do you... I don't buy it. Do not buy it. I need to stop being negative, but I'm just saying how I feel. I do not see... I don't know. This, to me, rattles my cage, right? I do not think Lando was that brilliant, right? I think the car's good. Anyway, let me just ignore that bit. What else he said? He was like that from first practice on Friday, had the upper hand on Oscar, who did a really solid job to come back free and pick up the podium. Yada, yada, yada. Yes, granted, Oscar probably should have done better than what he did, right? 100% Oscar should have done better. It was disappointing from Oscar. But it's almost like Lando, he doesn't. He's so humble and so approachable. He doesn't realise how great and significant his performances are right now, What are you talking about, David Coulthard? Right. No Formula 1 driver is humble. Literally zero Formula 1 drivers are humble, right? And get that. They're in a very lucrative sport. It would be hard to be humble, right? But for God's sake, get your tongue out of his arse. Seriously. He doesn't realise how great his performances are right now. He literally commented up here, minus a couple brushes with the barriers. Like, literally, minus a couple. Yeah. Okay. That's like saying to a sprinter, oh, minus falling over or tripping over your own feet. Yeah, you were fantastically fast. Like Usain Bolt. Oh, yeah. Apart from stumbling out of the blocks. Jesus Christ. But I want to put him in the sort of Senna, Schumacher and Hamilton type performances. Are you having a laugh? Like, is David Coulthard absolutely smoking crack at this point? What on earth is he talking about? How can you put him in the same sort of Senna, Schumacher and Hamilton at his best type performances? Hello, secondly, why are we saying Hamilton at his best? Right, but we're not saying it about Senna and Schumacher. What did these guys... Oh, mate. The audacity, the absolute hate that Lewis Hamilton gets just because he's British. We can all win a Grand Prix by getting a bit lucky, but this was exceptional. Yes, Miami, he was lucky. Granted, safety car. Very lucky, in fact. But this was exceptional. Debatable. I wouldn't really say it was exceptional, Coulthard. No. I would say no. Sorry. I wouldn't say it's exceptional. No way. Absolutely no way. Coulthard would catch up with Norris after the race, telling him that the performance was Senna-esque and pointed out that the gap to Verstappen is only 52 points with the title race on. Only. It's still a lot of points, Norris replied, especially when Max is finishing second like today, but it doesn't go down too quickly. But I feel like I've been performing very well the last couple of months, just different circumstances. Different things have just led to me having results like I had today, but I feel like I've been performing at this level for the last 2, 3, 4 weekends. Mate, your car's just quicker than everyone else's. Like, Jesus Christ. You got done in Monza by your teammate, right? Let's not forget, you're not the number... I'm going to be real, guys. I wouldn't say Lando Norris is number one driver at McLaren. Or he's not for the future anyway. Definitely not for the future. I do not rate Lando Norris that highly. I feel like I wish I could be closer in the championship for the time being, but it is what it is. And we've taken some of the things on the chin. We move forward, and when we have a weekend like we had this weekend and a day like today, quickest the whole weekend and dominating the race, it makes you feel good, and it's good motivation for the team. Granted, but you had your car was quick. So obviously next up we've got the Coulthard Circuit of America, and a race won by Verstappen for the past 3 years. But interesting to see what happens this in a couple of weeks' time. But Jesus Christ, really, David, what is David Coulthard getting off this? Why is he all of a sudden? Are people just that desperate to see someone else win other than Max? Is that what it is? You know, people are just that desperate to see someone else win. Like you had this with Lewis. Everyone liked Lewis, and then he started winning too much, and then everyone was like, looking for reasons for him to lose, and everyone wanted to see someone else win, right? So then, hence everything that happened with Max Verstappen, and go back to Brazil, how Max didn't get a penalty for literally driving Lewis off the track, but no one really talks about that because everyone was so desperate for a new champion, right? And ultimately to stop Lewis. I remember that year. Literally, you had Alonso helping him. You had obviously the 4 Red Bull cars supporting Max, and you had Alonso. You had everyone literally trying to stop him. It was literally Lewis and Valtteri Bottas versus everyone else that season. It was incredible. Nonetheless, we then seen Max Verstappen in his dominant era the last 2 or 3 years. Absolute is what it is, right? If your car is that quick, you're going to win. Point blank. Period. Everyone else's fault. And then we get into Lando Norris's performance, or McLaren's performance, right? They've got performance in the car. Absolute brilliant job from them. But who is the number one driver? Like, I still don't understand who is the number one driver, right? Is it Lando Norris? Because to me, I think 100%, I think Oscar is the better driver. I think Oscar is definitely a better driver and a better racer than Lando Norris. I think he's got more grit, more determination. Lando has just been a little bit fortunate, I think, in a few instances this season, and that's what's led him to be ahead of Oscar in the championship. But for David Coulthard to come out of all of this and say that, yeah, he's Senna-esque, and we've literally just read it. You said, yeah, he's Senna-esque, apart from hitting the wall several times or brushing with the wall. Like, yeah, that could have been race-ending accidents every single time. And he didn't just do it once. But hey, this is the British media for you. They will blow smoke up any British driver's arse purely to make headlines. And they probably get some commission. I don't think they get money off it, but obviously they just come out with absolute trash half the time. And that's why I like Nico Rosberg, because he says it how it is. And I'm sure Nico Rosberg literally come out this weekend or last weekend stating that, yeah, you know, Lando's making far too many mistakes. I don't know any driver that would make mistakes when he's that far in the lead. And he still manages to make mistakes. Like, absolutely mental what goes on in terms of British media and Lando Norris, how much people back Lando and rate him. So let me get this clear. Lando Norris is good, but do not put him in the same category as the likes of Hamilton, Schumacher and Senna. Like, you've got Max Verstappen that is head and shoulders above Lando Norris 9 times out of 10. Put him in the same car, Max would win 7 days of the week and twice on a Sunday. I do not rate Lando Norris. But hey, everyone's got an opinion. That's why we use this forum, right? Everyone, yeah, I see some people commenting in the chat as well. Everyone's got their own opinion. But is David Coulthard just smoking some absolute dribble here? Is he smoking absolute dribble? I'm going to say yes. Let's go back to the article. What else has he said? 52 points in the lead in the constructors. So will Lando get there? That is the biggest question, right? Will Lando finish the championship ahead of Max Verstappen? That is what's going to be interesting. I do not know. I do not know if he's going to do it, guys. I honestly do not know. I'll be surprised if he can do it. If he does it, fair play. You know, bravo, Lando Norris, the new British champion. And yes, arguably you would say this season he has been as good maybe as Senna, Schumacher and Hamilton. Maybe if he manages to win the championship, fair enough. But currently, absolutely no way. After that performance in Singapore, just because he won the race, or he dominated all weekend, right? He had a very quick car, so he dominated. That's pretty much what you expect from a contending world champion, right? You'd expect it. If they're quick on a Friday, they're quick on Saturday, and you see your competitor struggling, you would expect him to go on to win the race and in dominant fashion. That goes without saying, right? So to say that he was Senna-esque just because he won the race with a quick car, I cannot get on board with that. Right? Nonetheless, guys, drop your comments below. What do you think? Was Lando Norris's performance in Singapore, was it Senna-esque? Was it the likes of Schumacher and Hamilton? Was it as good as performance as those guys? It'll be interesting to know your thoughts. Who else is in the chat? Let's see. Is Leo in the chat? Is anyone in the chat? Guys, if you're in the chat, drop a comment below. Let's see what you're seeing. Let's see what you're up to. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Ultimately, was Lando Norris's performance in Singapore Senna-esque? Was it really Senna-esque? Or is it just constant smoke being blown up people's behinds? Because to me, don't rate it. Don't rate it at all. Do not think he was that good, to be honest. I do not think he was that good. But hey, everyone loves to chat. Absolute dribble. Absolute dribble. I do not rate Lando Norris's performance that much. I'm not going to lie. People are going to get in the comments. People are going to get upset about it. But I've said it. I don't think his performance was that good. I do not think his performances was that good, to be honest. I know people are going to get mad. People are going to be mad at me in the comments, going, leave Lando alone, all you Lando Norris fans. But was his performance really that good? Anyway, guys, that's why I'm going to leave the video for today. Drop your comments below. It'd be good to know your thoughts. Is Lando Norris's performance at Singapore, was it Senna-esque? Is Lando Norris now the future that we should all get behind? And should I be backing him more? Is Lando Norris one for the future? I don't know. It's like I said, guys, it is a difficult one. We can debate it all day, but ultimately, what is David Coulthard smoking? What was David Coulthard smoking when he come out with all of this outlandish claims about how good he is? I honestly, I do not buy. I don't know. Is he that good? Is Lando Norris really the one for the future? I'm trying to think who else have we got coming up. Obviously, we've got Franco Colapinto. Franco Colapinto will probably give Lando Norris a run for his money, I reckon. Honestly, I rate Franco Colapinto. Who else have we got? We've got Oliver Behrman coming through next year. Again, he's a good guy. He's got potential. Then we've got... Who's the other rookie? There's one more rookie who's coming up. Anyway, that's all for the video, guys. Drop us some comments after, and we'll get into a debate. Bro.